This is Namewee, a Malaysian singer and rapper. He published a song recently called The People of the Dragon, and it's full of references that are deemed offensive to the CCP. So in this video, I will attempt to explain and highlight every single reference and meme that he makes. Now, even Brendan Kavanaugh has listened to this song and they want to collab, so it's very interesting. Are we forming the Avengers of anti-CCP now? I want in. Now, before we start, just for a background context, Namewee in 2021 released a song called Fragile Heart or Glass Heart, and it was also a song that drew so much attention for its lyrics insinuating the CCP's nationalistic army called Little Pinks. So my man Namewee pops off once again. And let me do a quick shout out. I have some great news from my longtime partnership with Blueberry Creative, and they just recently updated the website and it's fully in English. Now, there's going to be an ongoing Chinese New Year sale going till the end of January, which is the 31st, and you'll get special prices on some of the greatest products, like this Taiwan High Mountain tea, and as well as ginseng tea. It's a great price for amazing products because I've actually been drinking the Taiwan High Mountain tea myself. It has a sweet and subtle flavor, great for an introduction tea to Asian tea culture. So check it out if you're looking for a great gift or if you want to just simply buy it for yourself. And this will help contribute to this channel's growth. And for all the products, you can also get 15% off using code DAVID and enjoy free shipping on all products if you spend $70 or more in the United States. This opening shot is already off to an insane start. A winding dragon cuts through a green background that symbolizes leeks or chives. It's a reference to Chinese people being slaughtered socially, physically, and mentally. But the dragon's head looks like a cross between a dragon and Winnie the Pooh. And then he typed out the Public Screening Permit Electronic Examination, number 2024, which is this year, and number 8964, which is again a reference to Tiananmen Square massacre. Now, this is a reference to Xi. He's donning a faux Qing Dynasty emperor's dragon robe. And people in China gave Xi Jinping the nickname of Emperor Qingfeng. Now, this actually comes from a meat bun shop called Qingfeng Buns, where Xi Jinping went and dined there. He was photographed biting into the buns, earning him the title of Xi Buns. And this mask, the Winnie the Pooh here, is another symbol that is deemed offensive to Xi Jinping, as Xi Jinping banned it due to the resemblance to his face back in 2012. Now, he's here riding a horse, which I'm not sure if it's a metaphor for the high horse, but clearly Xi Jinping is on a path as the last emperor of the CCP dynasty, so to speak, and so as commonly that's viewed as the last emperor for how terrible China has become. Now, the title appears. Notice that little CCP virus in the top there. Now, the first three of the four lines is a typical way Chinese influencers on video platforms would ask for subscription, like, and comment. And 666 isn't the devil, it's supposed to be a lucky number. The fourth line, notice this is an AI-generated voice of Xi Jinping, and he's calling out all those foreign-loving dogs, all the anti-CCP thugs, aka people like me, and the cockroaches. Yueyou means cockroach. So clearly, Xi Jinping hates all the anti-CCP people. And Namewee is supposed to be the nationalistic protector of the CCP. And he is the little pink. He's even wearing the neon pink shirt underneath. The chorus is the same. It's basically references how the CCP constantly stresses nationalism under the banner that all Chinese people are offsprings of the dragon. YYDS means the greatest of all time. Again, that's a reference to Xi Jinping trying to be the God Emperor of the CCP. And here, Namewee says long, long root, which is a reference to the male part. And that's recurring throughout the video. The wanted squirrel here is titled Democracy Defense. Again, it's a call that these people wearing the masks and the black robe are those anti-CCP thugs trying to assassinate Xi Jinping. Now, the first part of Namewee, he makes fun of how, while these people claim that they're Chinese nationals, but they go around the world, London. And here, not sure if this is a reference to the situation at St. Pancras or not, but we do know that Dr. K now had commented on this song. And Namewee replied, looking like the two could do a collab the next time they're in UK. Anyways, he goes on to say that they go to Thailand, Cambodia, US, in New York and LA, claiming to be the descendants of the Yellow Emperor. And this part, he references the wolf warrior hypocrisy. While they claim that hating America and being anti-Japanese are their duties, and they're still living out in the Western countries enjoying the freedom where they're protected by free speech. And they still show loyalty toward China. And they go on YouTube to leave malicious comments to defend CCP propaganda, etc. And that they will go to the extreme to eliminate all population on the island of Taiwan just to take back the physical island as territory of China. Namewee also pokes fun, saying that the hypocrisy is that these people, the same people, would immediately turn around and immigrate to Singapore and become Singaporeans. How ironic. Why wouldn't they remain in China if they love it so much? These two lines reference that Chinese tourists would go around other countries to tourist spots and just pee and poop on the ground. Namewee calls it cultural theory of evolution, unique to the CCP. Now, building a fully connected, intelligent world is actually a Huawei slogan, and the CCP views Huawei as the forefront of the technological and data dominance of China. And they also recently released the Mate 60 Pro phone, which was supposed to have a domestic-made 7nm chip, and then later was found that they were buying it from Taiwan and not domestic. And this was a point of nationalistic feelings back then for the CCP. They released it on the same day that U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo was in Beijing. So what seemed like a propaganda victory just turned out to be another flop. Just like a lot of the Chinese-made products, they're not backed by genuine engineering and craftsmanship. The iPhone still outsold Huawei again this year. Now, the sword earlier is also a reference to Huawei, so the CCP is taking the sword, or its goons taking the sword of Huawei, and then trying to defeat the enemy. But of course, it's written as fake Chinese sword. The Wei in Huawei is also a homonym for fake, which is also pronounced as Wei as well. Now, the thugs that Namewee is fighting, again, is supposed to be these anti-CCP thugs. They call people like us who make videos exposing the CCP. After he defeats the so-called thugs, he offers them the secret Kung Fu manual called Douyin Manual. And that's, again, a reference to CCP propaganda being brainwashed for these people. And that's what TikTok is called in China, Douyin. This line talks about the Luohu district, where there was apparently a secret market for milk powder, and apparently that exists in southern China. Pretty bizarre. And then he goes on to make fun of the little pinks who mouth hatred toward Japan, but wouldn't blink once before flying to Japan and eating sashimi, drinking their so-called wastewater, and consume Japanese products. And this manual of Kung Fu is called White Paper Manual, which references the White Paper protest of 2022, where young people came out after a fire killed many in Xinjiang due to the draconian COVID lockdown at the time, and fire trucks couldn't get to the apartment. And so the apartments itself, people couldn't escape because they were chained, like the doors were chained shut. And so people came out to protest the draconian COVID lockdown all over China. And each of these vertical writings represent a reference or a meme. So from the left to right, first is a mahjong reference, 5-circle tile, but it's a homonym for military invasion of Taiwan, and then subsequently military conquest of the world, showing CCP military ambition and threat. The next is unanimous passage, which is referring to when the CCP votes in their rubber stamp legislature, it's all yes votes.
同意的代表请举手。不同意的请举手。
没有。 没有，没有，
没有，
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 没有，通过。
Right? Never a single vote against. So it's clearly a democracy, right? And again, YYDS is the GOAT reference, which is signaling that Xi Jinping views himself as the greatest. And now the one behind it is called chives, tastes great. Now chives or leeks, both interchangeably used, are references to Chinese people who are constantly oppressed by the CCP, and they're sacrificial lambs for CCP policies like zero COVID, bad economy, famine, cultural revolution, etc. And chives can be easily cut down with a scythe of communism, and then they grow back quite fast too. Expendable people in China. This one here is also a homonym for the people of the dragon, but the dragon character is replaced by the homonym of deaf, another poke at the CCP deafness and blindness in their nationalism. This one reads small bear for you, which is a homonym for Winnie the Pooh, again referring to Xi Jinping. For you is a point that apparently the CCP leader is doing it for the people. Everything comes for the people. But as we know, that's never really the case in a dictatorship. People never come first. Last one visible to us in this shot is the right one, which is 8964. Again, that's the date of the 1989 June 4th Tiananmen Square massacre. And this one reads, love country, love the party. The CCP always claims that loving China is equal to loving the party, or that the party is the country. And that's why all these little pinks get so riled up when their flag or something is touched, because the CCP intentionally hijacks that the loving of nation is the same as the loving of the party. So it's to justify their ruling legitimacy. Now, the Fist Manual of Kung Fu here is called Anti-Extradition Law Movement Fist. It's a reference to the 2019 to 2020 Hong Kong democracy protest against the draconian national security law. The middle banner says, people leave poverty, which is another slogan that the CCP claims to help all Chinese people alleviate from poverty. It turns out, though, according to data and now dead Premier Li Keqiang, China has 600 million people still living on the poverty line. Now, these four tokens each refer to a social event. The first is fake singing. It's a reference to the recent scandal of Mayday, a Chinese pop band faking their live performances. The second is feminine men. China had recently banned the appearance of feminine men as the CCP gears for the invasion of Taiwan. So again, that was a big social scandal. The third is offending the CCP. Again, it's a common term used whenever by somebody who apparently is offending China again, whether that's intentional or not. It's becoming a meme that everything outside of China is offensive to the regime. The last is love to lie, which is, as we all know, is the definition or the defining characteristic of the CCP. The four-line raps here by Winnie is about how they propagandize Taiwanese people as poor, can't even afford to eat seafood, or have common ancestry with China. All the while, he's holding this token that reads, love to lie. Again, this is making fun of the CCP propaganda against Taiwan, from bizarre to downright fake. Namewee comes in and talks about the CCP robbing the rich's money and zero COVID style getting rid of the people like Jack Ma, billionaires in China, or the founder of Tencent. These mega companies and their founders, they either have to surrender their entire assets to the CCP or else they face political investigations. And that he also says all celebrities must kneel and lick the boot to survive in China. Namewee here is talking about how after he made the song called The Fragile Heart, he was blacklisted in China. Unlike other Asian artists, he didn't cave to the CCP and to surrender. This Biu Biu movement here is a recent viral song by a Chinese streamer. And this frame has a manual called Little Red Book, but it's actually written as Little Pink Book. Now, it's a double reference to the popular Chinese social media app called Little Red Book, as well as the Little Pink, which again is the nationalism aspect. So the manual is trying to teach them to become aggressive. The mask then comes off, and wow, it's actually Xi Jinping. How uncanny. As well as this is the viral dance known as Subject 3. On the left side, the clinic is reading Glory Revival Clinic, which is again a reference to Glory to Hong Kong and Revolution of Our Times. The left reads Dragon Gate Inn, which I believe is a reference to a 1967 film of the same name. Now the plot is seeking justice. Ahead of that is the Human Touch coffee shop, something often criticized. Chinese people everywhere say that under the CCP, China lacks the human elements and the human feelings or the humanity touch. They feel disconnected from the realness of humanity under the CCP. Shrimp to the woman, who is seen to be either Chinese or Taiwanese in this case, I'm not so sure. But it's feeding her shrimps, which is Chinese seafood. Again, that's a double reference to the recent Fukushima situation, where in Japan they released the nuclear water, treatment water, and then it became a nationalistic event. Like Chinese people started panic buying salt and embargo seafood from Japan. Yeah, apparently Chinese seafood is going to be much better, right?
咱们2024贺岁歌曲《龙的传人》正式杀青，反对的请举手。
没有，
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 没有，通过，回家过年。
Alright, that's it for the episode on dissecting every little reference in the Namewee's new song, People of the Dragon. If you enjoy the content, leave a like, comment below your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, bye-bye.